Hey, what's up? I'm Basil Barrington, and I am here to talk about my experience switching from Buzzsprout to Spotify for podcasters. That was the worst experience, the worst decision I made. Let me tell you why. So I was on Anchor. It was a really great experience. It was really cool. Once Spotify acquired Anchor, I was like, I'm not really a Spotify supporter. So I moved over to Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is a really, really awesome podcast hosting platform. I love it, right? But then I was like, you know what? Let me save a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. I got rid of some streaming services. So I was like, maybe I can just move back over to Spotify to, just save some money. I was only paying $12 a month for their 3-hour a month plan. So it wasn't that expensive. Buzzsprout does have all of these really cool features, audio bites, great statistics and everything else, a website for your podcast, the whole nine, and integration with a WordPress website. You gotta love that. I switched everything back over. The process was really weird because I created an account on Spotify for podcasters, and then when I logged into my account, I was trying to do the switch. I couldn't do that. I had to delete that account. Then I had to go through their interface to switch from one host to another, which is basically going on to the Spotify for Podcasters account, scrolling down to the bottom and finding that little box where you can put in your RSS URL, then you can start the whole process, right? So I did that, and it sort of forced me into creating a Spotify account. Then we got this minimalist sort of UI UX. This is totally different than the Anchor UI UX. The Anchor UI UX was a little bit smarter, was snappier. This is like an afterthought for Spotify. It just seems like they're not putting in a lot of work into the Spotify for Podcaster platform. It's a free platform, so they really don't care about how it looks, the UI UX. They just want the data. That's it. They just want the data and the content, right? Yeah, it just didn't work out. And then a lot of times when I tried logging in, I had to go in and log in. Then it said, hey, are you a Spotify podcaster user? Yes. Okay. So, are you a former Anchor user? No, yes, I am, but then it's so weird. Then I had to every time I tried logging in, with my Spotify account, because I had to create one. Yeah, I kept using it and I was trying. And then I was like, this is really weird. So I finally got in. I uploaded 3 episodes thus far, right? And I've only been on that platform for 2.5 weeks, Spotify for podcasters. But I just can take it, it's just some really quirky things. You can only select one category. With Buzzsprout, you can select 3 categories, up to 3. On Buzzsprout, it gives you an indication of what was your last episode that you uploaded. So you can remember what this, the next episode is going to be. Small things like that. You're busy during the week. You may not know that, this is episode number 171 or whatever it is, So you really have to find the episode number with Spotify for Podcasters. You have to select this drop-down menu for additional options and everything. And then they also try to force you to use polls and everything. You have to delete that every time you upload it, a podcast. And then when you uploaded your audio, sometimes it just didn't take an error. You always had an error message, so you had to upload your audio again, right? Yeah, it's, I don't know about, it's not the same. It's not Anchor. It's worse. Whatever they did, however they integrated Anchor into Spotify, and now made it Spotify for podcasters, worst experience. And, I know some may say, well, you know what? It's free. So free isn't necessarily good. That's right. That is totally correct. But Anchor was okay. Anchor was pretty cool. But now that it's fully integrated with Spotify, worst experience I've ever had. And here's the other thing. Buzzsprout does one thing. They are a podcast hosting platform. Spotify is a music streaming service that is trying to get into audio podcasting, and they're also doing video podcasting as well, right? I'm just not a Spotify user. I just don't support the company. I just think, how they're paying their artists and everything. I just don't support the company, right? So with that said, I moved back over to Buzzsprout and I love the experience. I'm not moving back over to Spotify, because that's the worst for me, in my opinion. This is my opinion, okay? Spotify for podcasters, it's not what Anchor used to be. It's a worse experience. So if you're looking to have your podcast hosted somewhere, you may want to look somewhere else, like maybe Spreaker. Spreaker has like a free account. Buzzsprout does have a free account, but there's some limitations, like your podcast will only be available for 90 days, which is kind of weird. So Spotify for podcasters, worst experience. Stay away from it. I know you're thinking, oh, you have video for podcasts and, video podcasts, audio podcasts, and you're thinking, that when you're on that platform, when users are on the Spotify app, they're able to watch your videos and everything else. But YouTube does the same thing. So Google's kind of getting away from using the Google Podcast Manager and basically integrating all that with YouTube. So you already have videos and podcasts and things like that on YouTube. So, it's kind of already there, right? And that is the second largest search engine in the world, YouTube, right? So again, stay away from Spotify for podcasters, worst experience. Find another platform, or just if you can't find a free platform to host your podcast, you may want to pay that $12 a month to some other sort of platform so that you can get a better experience. Until next time, peace.